Welcome to White Thread Tarot, where the reader is bubbly, but the readings can get dark. Oh, Pisces. Not gonna lie, with everything going on with Pisces in the sky right now, this is kind of the reading that I was most excited to do. All right, so I am going to be doing the September 2nd half reading for Pisces. And we are going to go ahead and get started with the animal oracles. Ooh, oyster, cheetah. I don't see cheetah very often. Seems kind of different from the usual Pisces energy. What you got going on, Pisces? I feel so nosy about this. Phoenix, here we go. Here we go. I was gonna say I was gonna be so mad if I didn't even get a single like mythical creature in this pull. All right, come on, get back in the box. There we go. All right, oyster. Oyster is about secrets. It's about stuff and things coming out. That's what she said. All right, patient, secret keeper, hiding inner treasures. The focus and determination of the oyster is unmatched. Anything an oyster personality puts their mind to, they achieve with grace and charm. The only problem is, oyster types often take their inner gifts for granted. They become shy or doubtful, and this can lead to withdrawing or protecting their deepest desires and life's work. When the oyster card appears, it's important to reveal your inner treasures. What is it you've been hesitant to share? The world is waiting to see. When in balance, feels blessed, generous, masterful. When out of balance, reluctant, gripping, clams up. To bring into balance, share something. Hmm, hmm. One can only wonder. Pisceans are so mysterious. Despite the fact that a lot of people seem to think that like Pisces people are like soft and wishy-washy and whatnot, or like, you know what I mean? Like the Pisces people that I know tend to have a lot more backbone than you'd expect from a water sign. Like I know Cancer tends to get the reputation for being kind of tough, rough around the edges. Now with Pisces, their strength is on the inside. All right, Cheetah. Solar force, action, achievement, masculine energy. The cheetah is the epitome of the solar forces at work. The sun doesn't shine onto the cheetah, it shines from inside this great creature and expands outward to brighten the universe. The energy within a cheetah personality is palpable to others, and they naturally attract an audience to bear witness to their remarkable achievements. Purpose and passion are the best fuel for a cheetah's forward momentum. So if you're lacking in those areas, reconnect to the why before you start running. When in balance, achieves anything, boundless energy. When out of balance, impatient, competitive. To bring into balance, reconnect to purpose. Yeah, not gonna lie, I have no idea. No idea. Freedom from suffering and past karma reincarnation. The phoenix represents the transformation of our past. It doesn't mean running from it, denying it, or burning bridges with rage. The phoenix employs an advanced technique described in yoga as the burning of impurities through practice and dedication. Tapas. The essence of the phoenix is with us when we realize we have been suffering too long and something must change. We take a stand and decide to live consciously instead of being driven by the unconscious mind and its long list of fears and aversions. At that very moment, the spark of the phoenix is lit, and the great bird helps us burn through our baggage. We no longer run from who we are, what has happened to us, or what we have done. The stuckness and dead weight fall into the ashes, and a lightness and clarity emerge. As the stagnancy continues to smolder, the phoenix lifts our spirits up and up, and we begin to recognize ourselves again. We may catch a glimmer in our eye that wasn't there before. Look closely. It's the sign the fire of transformation is upon your wings. Hmm. Not gonna lie, I have no insight yet. Pisces, Pisces, so mysterious. All right, let's go straight for Pisces love. Ten of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, Five of Cups, the Chariot. Chariot's also pretty fast moving energy. I wonder if this hints what the cheetah was about. Oh, and then we have the Hermit. Hmm. Mother of Pentacles. Or no, Daughter of Pentacles. The Fool. Father of Pentacles. And Death. Hmm. Pisces, why you keep dropping my cards? The Hangman. Pisces, what the frick? What's with all this stop and go energy? What's going on with you guys? Hangman, the Fool, Chariot, Five of Cups. Oh. Oh, I get it. 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 Pisces, you went through a situation in which the watering hole dried. There was a connection that no longer fulfilled you. And how do I put this? When things end, when a connection ends, a lot of people like to front, like, yeah, I'm over it. It's whatever. I've already moved on. I've already walked away. I don't need my ex coming back. I never want to see him again. So I'm good single forever until I die. But then what's really going on the inside, like the internal process that is very typical for any connection ending, is the 5 stages of grief, right? There's I almost feel ashamed to admit this because I'm a psych grad, but I don't memorize them all. But basically, you go through a whole dryer cycle of emotions, and that's totally normal. But because of the way that it's so normal for people to front about being over it, moving on, leave the past in the past. And then even then, like, when you watch like tarot readers and stuff, like a lot of them are just like, it's the past. Just move on. You'll be okay. Looky here. You have a new future opportunity that's gonna be so much better for you. You get a lot of that, you know, because we see that all the time. We end up like self-imposing this expectation that when a connection ends, you're supposed to just automatically be over it. Forget about it. Move on. Forward. live, laugh, love, good vibes only. Like that's kind of the direction that people almost try to force themselves to go because they think that that's the only honorable path. But this to me is telling, it's very telling about the real process that we go through, right? So you have the Five of Cups, watering hole dried. I know this isn't good for me anymore. Goodbye. I'm moving on to the Ten of Pennies and the Ace of Wands and the Chariot. Forward. Oh no, nostalgia. Oh no, I miss them. Oh no, but what about that really good version of them that I saw in the beginning? I can't leave that behind. I've been in that position before. Right? You meet someone and they're great at first, right? And you're like, you, I like you. And then you start seeing cracks. But the thing is, especially when you're intuitive, and Piscean people tend to be intuitive, even when you see the cracks, you know that that first version of them that you encountered was also real. Because what happens with people when they establish new connections is it's human nature to want to put your best foot forward. And your best foot forward really is your very best. That version of you is also real. You're not just putting up an act, it's just that it's temporary. It's not maintainable. And when you see the cracks, sometimes those cracks they vary in degree of severity, right? Those red flags are sometimes normal human red flags. Sometimes they indicate deeper, more problematic mechanisms going on the inside. And when we encounter that, a lot of the time people start to think, oh, they were just wearing a mask. They were just pretending in the beginning. But the problem is that no, that version was real too. And it's okay to grieve that. And on the side where you find yourself needing to walk away because the red flags indicated to you that they don't know how to communicate, they don't know how to repair, they don't know how to maintain a connection. They will choose their comfort and their sense of safety over the connection every time. They will abandon you every time things get hard. They're not capable of sitting with you through it. And that to you tells you that while they may value you and they may care about you and they may want to connect to you, they may like you, they may have feelings for you, but in spite of all that, their feelings towards you will never win when butted up against their avoidance, their coping mechanisms, their sense of safety. And you have to ask yourself when you think about the initial version of them that you saw, when you think about their inner child that is reaching for connection, craving connection while they self sabotage and push it away simultaneously, as a result, hurting you. You need to ask yourself, are you putting their needs above yours when they are clearly showing you that no matter how much you want to help them, no matter how much you want to connect with them and be in a connection that is healing for both of you, that they can't carry their own weight in that dynamic? When they are resisting your attempts at connection, are you still putting their needs above yours? And it feels horrible because all you wanted to do was connect with them and show them what a healthy connection looks like. You wanted to work with them. You wanted to work together, not against each other. But they showed you that they can't play like that with you. So at some point, you have to accept it and you have to walk away. And that's what causes this, the nostalgia. You leave, you try to move forward, and then you start to realize that that's not how it works. You can't just move on like it never happened. And then the nostalgia hits. And then you're like, did I do the right thing in walking away? Was I being cruel? And then you process and you start to realize, no, I wasn't. I was respecting myself. I respected myself out of a situation that was disrespectful to me. And you realize that, and you get your forward momentum back. Father of Pentacles. You grow a little bit when you realize that. Daughter of Pentacles, Father of Pentacles. You grow a little bit. Because you start to learn to take your own feelings into account when you make decisions in matters of the heart. And then you go through death and rebirth. You come out changed with a new way of seeing love, closer, a little bit closer to the truth of what it really looks like. You come out with a new perspective, the Hanged Man. Because when we talk about love, unconditional love, we usually talk about giving it to others. But me personally, I don't believe that you can give a healthy form of love to anyone else, nor can you receive love fully until you learn to apply that unconditional love to yourself. I don't believe that we can't be loved until we love ourselves. We can. And I think that learning self love is a joint effort between yourself and others who love you. It's something that humans teach each other to do. With that being said, until we learn to love ourselves, until we learn to take into account how the situation or the other person is affecting us, and for that to matter too, until we learn that, our love comes out distorted. It turns into codependency. It turns into avoidance. It turns into something toxic. And when others try to love us, we don't always believe them. We don't always just accept it. We become like the people who hurt us when we were just trying to love them. Because they don't know how to receive love, because they don't love themselves. Hmm. This to me, Pisces, looks like the process of letting go, which is very fitting considering the times that we are in, eclipse season. Faded endings, faded new beginnings. And it looks to me like you are growing the ability to give a shit when you are the one getting hurt for a change. Because Pisces, you don't have to be a martyr. You don't have to burn yourself to the ground just to keep others warm. That's not what love looks like either. Okay, now work. Father of Cups. No, 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 no. Six of Cups is back. Nine of Cups. Five of Pentacles. Okay, we'll go with it. Hierophant. Six of Wands. Nine of Swords. Daughter of Cups. That's a weirdly specific one. Okay. Um, give me one more because this feels like it ends mid-sentence. Wow. Okay. Ten of Swords. Very aggressive. Got it. Okay. Got it. So, Pisces. It looks okay. The very specific message that I got is that there was something that you loved very much. Maybe when you were younger. Um, and by something, I mean, like, for example, painting or playing guitar or woodworking or something like that. Like a, not a hobby, but like a craft, a skill that you loved very much. And with the Hierophant being here, for some reason, his energy feels very aggressive. And the Hierophant's about higher knowledge, deeper wisdom, education, tradition, religion. There was something that you loved very much that you weren't allowed to do, or like you had a traumatic experience in school about it. Like I almost like caught a flash of like a teacher humiliating you. And then you just never touched it again. Like it affected you. That one instance, no, saying it was more than one time. And there was bullying too, wasn't there? The environment in school, in your childhood, seems to have kind of killed the joy out of something for you, something that you really love. And you never touched it again. And I say that because the Five of Pentacles is here. Father of Cups, Daughter of Cups. It also tells me that there was a father-daughter dynamic. Or, a mother-son dynamic. where they didn't help. They didn't help. 6 of Wands being there tells me that maybe you're trying again. The Hangman, seeing things from a different perspective. Maybe realizing that the feedback that you got back then wasn't a reflection of your skill or really anything. Even if you suck at it, I mean, why not just do it if you like it? Father of Pentacles, the World. Why is this so specific? I'm also getting with the Father of Pentacles that you may have encountered a new father figure in your adult life that is helping you see things from a different perspective, or maybe they just kind of like said something like, well, why don't you do it? You know, if you used to do it and you liked it, why don't you do it again? And then you say, well, all this happened. And then they just go, so? And that's really all it takes, is them just going, so? So why does that have to stop you from doing it now? You're a grown up now. You have money, so you can buy your own supplies. You can do it in your own time. Like, there's nobody to stop you. You could bake brownies at 3 a.m. I've done it. And no one can stop you because you're a grown up. So do the thing that you love, something like that. And then there's the World, ending a cycle and new beginnings. This is so specific. This is just so crazy specific. Yeah. Pisces. There was something that you really enjoyed, that still kind of plays a role in your identity, and you're finally getting the encouragement that you needed back then to continue now. On a deeper level, though, this can also speak to childhood wounds healing, seeing things from a new perspective, digging through our roots to see which ones are rotten now, which ones need to be cut off now. And it's almost like from the branches, from the roots that you cut off, you emerge again different. You know what this also says? This is like somebody that kind of lives with a chip on their shoulder. You know, like, oh, I had a really tough time in school. I was always the kid that didn't fit in. I was always kind of a, like a, I just keep to myself because I've been hurt so much. Duh. Kind of like Twilight vibes, you know what I mean? Like, oh, look at me, I'm so mysterious. And you just carry that wounding as your identity, and you wear it. But it looks like you're changing that. You're dropping the chips. You are becoming who you want to be on a random Tuesday. Because people forget that we can do that, You can just wake up one morning and be like, you know what? I want to be a different person. I can't operate like this anymore. I don't want to. I want to operate differently. Am I weird or am I just quirky? Hmm. This feels like you finally decide who you are and what you allow to hold you back. The stories of your life that you tell yourself are developing a different color scheme. They're not so black and white anymore. It's almost as if your stories of pain, your stories of loneliness, your stories of wounding are becoming stories of resilience, stories of deeper understanding, stories of wisdom. Interesting. That was so specific. I really just hope that it ends up finding whoever that was for. And if you're listening to this, I hope that you start doing again what you loved. Because the world needs more of that. People doing what they love. All right, let's get into Pisces shadow work. Wow. Wow. I was gonna say I'd shit if the next one just like tumbled out like that too, like did a straight up backflip out of the stack. I'll let it happen. Okay. All right, we got the Three of Pennies, Mother of Cups, Six of Swords, Nine of Pennies, High Priestess, Son of Pennies, Eight of Pennies, Strength. Oh yeah. Okay. Ooh, this feels like you start here, you end here. No. Yes. Mother of Cups, Three of Pennies. Nine of Pennies is over here. Eight of Pennies feels like it's over here, along with the Mother of Cups. I saw the ribbon thing move, and I'm in a reptile room, so every time I see like a thin object moving, I just assume one of my snakes escaped. But it's not Edison, my Mexican black king snake, so that's good. And as a matter of fact, I see him in his enclosure. Okay, we're good. All right, Three of Pen. I was gonna say panties. Three of Pennies. You go. No, you go. Where do you go? Ah, okay. Here. Son of Pennies. That means you can come over here. Okay. Oh, well, as I mentioned in the work reading, Son of Pennies kind of reminds me of a person that's just like, oh, look at me, I'm so mysterious. I have so much past hurts. I'm so sad. This is the body of a killer, Bella. Like, that's what that's reminding me of. Sorry. Sorry to make fun of your angst. But anyway, then we have. then we have the Six of Swords. Um, and that's about finally being able to see the bright side, right? You know, it's about the rainbow after the storm. Basically, what I'm saying is that you are ceasing to identify with your angst. And then we have the Mother of Cups. I'm sorry, I can't take myself seriously right now. Then we have the Mother of Cups. Um, and when she connected with the Eight of Pentacles, I felt open. Like I felt my chest just crack open, like leaving your heart open. It's almost like you don't have it in you quite yet to take initiative, when it comes to putting yourself out there. But it's like you've learned to leave your heart open. Eight of pennies. That's the card to me of kind of sit and wait. Like you've cast your web, now you wait. Ambush predator style. Connecting with the Mother of Cups, this tells me that the web is your heart, just splayed open. Hi, here I am. This is me. Here is my heart wide open. Do you like me? Oh, you do? Cool. Let's connect. Oh, you don't? You will. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Three of pennies. That is over there because at the same time, it almost feels like you're setting up strategy as far as how do I go about executing the changes that have happened within me? How do I go about meeting my own needs that I now have but didn't before, if that makes sense? And then we have the Nine of Pennies, Strength, and High Priestess. And what this tells me is that you are starting to combine your intuition with your drive. I say that because oftentimes people that are intuitive tend to keep themselves almost in defense mode, in kind of observe, see how this goes mode. It's a very kind of receptive position to be in, if that makes sense. But you're starting to go on the offense. Funny story, actually. Himiko was a female shaman in Japan before Japan was called Japan. It was Wa. And legend has it, she rode into battle with red armor on herself and won many, many wars because she let her intuition lead. She used her intuition to literally win wars, or I say literally, but according to the records. I think she was the first recorded female shaman in Japanese history. But anyway, that's the vibe that I'm getting here. Is rather than kind of being the intuitive that like locks yourself in a room and watches through a glass almost, you're starting to actually participate in life. You're starting to actually use your intuition to move you forward, to tell you where to go so that you can then work on the right things to get to where you want to be. Why is this one so oddly specific? Unless all the Pisceans are going through some weird childhood school drama, ex Twilight, angsty, no more stuff. But yeah, actually, funny story. This is just funny story time, but I like to go to Bath and Body Works sometimes to pick up like candles and stuff. And um, you know how they have that like shimmer body spray stuff? I like to spray that all over me, like the samples, and then just walk up to people and be like, "This is the body of a killer, Bella." And sometimes I think it's funny to walk up to people that are trying on the lotion samples, just going, "It puts the lotion on its skin." when they decide to buy it and put solution in a fucking basket. Anyway, yeah, that's the transformation that I see happening in you. You're you're becoming more outgoing. You're becoming more outgoing. You're becoming more forward movie. You're becoming more cheetah. There we go. Cheetah. That's why the cheetah was there. Now it makes sense. Okay. All right. That makes sense. Okay. Oyster. Definitely Edward Cullen vibes right now. And then Phoenix. Yeah. That's the transformation that you're going through. Bruh. Yeah, I dig this. I dig this. I love it when the angsty people just kind of like suddenly snap and then they come out of their shells and they're weird AF. I love it. Okay. Hmm. Well, Pisces, I'm glad to see that you are finally joining us in the realm of the living, out in the sunlight. You'll be fluorescent for a short while, but once you get to 10, you'll be just fine. But anyway, jokes aside, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I know that this season has been it's been a banger. It's been a doozy, but we're all making it alive. We'll be fine. We'll be totally fine. Actually, here soon, I want to do like a world event reading. I've been doing that in my own private time recently. And actually, the stuff that I've been seeing in my readings that I've been doing just on my own, I think are worth putting on here. So I will be doing that soon. Yep. I'm still playing around with reading styles and reading schedules and how I want to do things. But yeah, that was it for the September readings. And like, share, subscribe, comment to help me out with the algorithm, and hit the notification button so that you get notified every time I post a video. And I will see you in the next one.